You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
World champion Sugar Shane Mosley, fresh from his victory over Oscar De La Hoya, goes after his next big challenge, becoming the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world. But standing in his way is the other reigning king, Winky Wright. 5 years he's defended his crown, and now he's hungry for the undisputed glory that has eluded him. Plus, undefeated rising heavyweight contender Joe Macy takes on the rugged former cruiserweight champ Vasily Jirov. It all happens Saturday, March 13th.
Scotiabank Money Master RSP account. Highest rate of the big 5 banks. It's where to put your money while you figure out where to put your money. Scotiabank.
Entertainment for the bus ride to the Stouffville Clippers away game. $140. 1 bag of cheesies, Tim Hortons donuts, Smarties, and pop. $42. Motel rooms for the night. $240. Knowing there's a big, clean sheet of ice waiting on the other end. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Fan of the NHL and those who love hockey above all else.
Their own rink, a very good home record. 21-7, 5-1 for the Preds here in Tennessee.
Starting goaltenders for tonight's game. Adam Monroe will make his NHL debut in the pipes for the Blackhawks in 12 games down in Norfolk. He had a 5-4-1 record, 2.24 goals against, 90 save percentage, and Thomas Vokoun will start at the other end for Brian Trotz's Nashville Predators. Thomas Vokoun has had an excellent season, 29 wins, 22 losses, 6 ties.
Here we go now as the Predators are able to dump one into the Hawk zone, and Vandermeer is back for it. Put it over to the right wing boards. Nickel is there. Able to chip it to center. Now Vandermeer gets help from Nathan Dempsey, whose feed deflects into the Nashville zone. Picked up by Nicholas, clearing it in deep. Bell checked by Hamuse on the end boards. It's cleared around to Martin Erat, and he was checked, but finally able to send it back the other way. It's going to be icing against the Predators, so we can tell you about the officials in the game tonight. The referees are Mark Jonette and Dennis Leroux. The linesman, Mike Cormier, and veteran Danny McCourt.
we had a chance to speak with Danny McCourt in the locker rooms downstairs before the game, and what a character he is.
Wonderful guy, just finishing up his 25th year as a linesman in the National Hockey League. Wonderful guy, a lot of fun to be around. Here's the draw now. Taken by Arneson in the near corner, tried to center it, deflects. And Johansson rolled into the neutral zone for the Preds. Bouncing around there to Kimmo Timonen. Shot it to the Hog blue line. And Dempsey flips this one out of play, so a sluggish first minute of this one.
And the Dodge starting lineup for Brian Sutter's Chicago Blackhawks is going to be the same as it was yesterday, other than Darren Quint will be back after an injury because Stefan Robida took a face to the puck and he is going to miss a little bit of time. But I want you to note the Matt Ellison, Matt Keith, and Quentin Lang line, a total of 13 NHL games experience combined between those 3 youngsters.
Now here's the draw. Taken by Walker to the near corner, tried to center, that didn't connect, bounced to the line, and the Preds able to hold it in. Walker rolled it along the end boards. Now Sullivan in the near corner will leave it there. Picked up by Legwand, back to Sullivan, long shot. Monroe made the save, almost had it jammed free as Walker was there trying to bother him, but Monroe did well to cover it up.
Monroe makes his first NHL save and fumbled it a little bit, but got the rebound. John Aiken, pretty good decision by John Aiken in front of him. He could have maybe tried to play that puck, but allowed Monroe to handle it and cover it up for a whistle to his left. But that first save is always a nerve-wracking one, and he got it under his belt.
Face off to the left of the 21-year-old. Here's the draw. Picked up by the Hawks. Arneson sending Calder to center. He'll shoot it in. Arneson to the near corner. Unable to corral it. Ruutu did. It's shot around the boards, and the Preds Timonen tries to clear. It winds up back in the Hog zone with Berard. Now Vandermeer. That his pass bounced away from Berard, but it wound up back at center. Mark Eaton is there for the home side. Hit it to the far corner. Ruutu able to knock it away from Timonen. Then Eaton jammed it free, and Erat turned and failed to get it out. Here's Arneson trying to center. Tip deflected wide by Ruutu. Back into the near corner goes Calder. What a line, or what a game this line had yesterday. This Arneson line, 18 shots on goal they had between the three of them. Ruutu had 8 of them. The Preds now able to dump one in. Matt Ellison, there's it up the right wing side to Keith. He rolled it to center ice. And Quinton Lang able to dump one in. Andrews rings it around. The Hawks steal. Another shot back around the boards, wound up at center ice.
Jordan Tutu, 5'8", 200 pounds, and boy, oh boy, he's a physical presence out there, and he just adds excitement. He goes out there and he's going 100 miles an hour in the crowd. As soon as he steps on the ice and sees him going after somebody, they're all over it.
Here's Darren Quint, who he just hit a moment ago, gave it to Strudwick. Jason Strudwick scooped it to center. Amuse was short of center when he dumped it back in. This one bounced to Monroe, however, so no icing, and it's cleared to the near board. Greg Johnson for the Preds was checked, and it deflects back to center. Timonen shooting it in. Comes to the near board, taken by Zidlichki. Walked around and checked, and Monroe fell down. Somebody made contact with him. Preds are going to get a penalty. And the Blackhawks will get the extra man as they get it into the offensive zone. The rush broken up. The Preds control. The whistle sounds. So a rude greeting for Adam Monroe to his NHL career. He was able to draw a penalty, though.
Well, Greg Johnson just threw his hands up in the air. He felt that he was a little bit interfered with. Monroe was knocked over, and Greg Johnson just raised his hands and looked at the referee, and he was, come on, that's not a call. And actually, we get another look at it. Greg Johnson was in front of Adam Monroe, and Darren Quint went behind him, and it looked like they kind of handcuffed them together, but Blackhawks are going to go on the power play.
And they just scored off the power play. A face-off victory for the Blackhawks, and a wrist shot able to elude Vokoun. And the Blackhawks on the power play grab a 1-0 lead. It took 5 seconds to score with a power play.
Well, I can't understand what the Nashville Predators were doing. The face-off by Tuomo Ruutu was won, and all of a sudden just Arneson walked in and fired a shot. Vokoun was beaten on it, but very poor coverage by the Nashville Predators in the face-off area. You have a responsibility for each man, but Tyler Arneson can't just walk in and fire a shot from that close a range on a goaltender.
I said 5 seconds. A 3-second conversion on the power play for the Blackhawks. That's Arneson's 14th of the year. It is his second goal in the last 16 games. And the Blackhawks able to jump out in front. Now Nicholas on the far board in his own end check. Back of the goal goes Walker. Scott Walker tried to center. That's picked off. Nickel to Nicholas. He shot it to center ice. The Preds now work it back over the line. Walker's long centering pass was too far for Sullivan. Then he was taken down, and Vandermeer is going to get a penalty. I'll be interested to see, Troy, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is not the last time that Steve Sullivan is on the deck tonight. Vandermeer put him down that time, but he'll get a call.
Vandermeer wasn't here with Steve Sullivan, so he has no ties to Steve Sullivan. But you know what? Even when you're playing against guys that you played with and knew so well, you just want to go out and you want to prove to them, so you know what? You're not going to go out and you're not going to control this game. Steve Sullivan has been red hot for the Nashville Predators, but there's nobody inside that Blackhawk locker room that wants Steve Sullivan to make the difference in this game against them.
The draw to Timonen, a long shot. Monroe able to make the save through traffic. Rebound to the near side. Johansson rolled it out to the line. Now has it again. Johansson walks to the slot. Now cleared it over to the far side. Zidlichki hanging on. Looking for a little help out in front. Put it to the deep side. Johansson, a one-timer. Gobbled up by Monroe. Then came loose. And Johansson able to keep it in. And then his pass goes outside the zone. And the Preds have to scurry back.
Zidlicki has got 28 points on the power play for the Nashville Predators. 8 power play goals. He's among the NHL leaders in those two categories. He is the one guy that you got to focus on at the point. Him and Kimmo Timonen, both those two players like to get the puck and move it to the middle and get the shot.
The Hawk penalty killers, sixth best in the league, but here come the Preds. Here's the shot. Monroe made a good save on Johnson, and he's able to hang on to it.
Now Adam Monroe has looked pretty solid. 4 shots by the Predators. He stopped them all. He looks pretty calm and collective in the nets. Takes a little drink of water, maybe relieve a little bit of nerves there before he continues on this penalty kill.
The Blackhawks, I started to say, 6th best in the penalty killing in the league, but have given up a power play goal against in 4 straight games. 4 of the last 20 have been converted against them. The Predators, their power play is hotter than anybody. 10 goals in 6 games for the Nashville power play. They've cashed in 10 out of the last 32. And here they come now. Arkhipov carried it over the line, or Sullivan did. He was checked. It bounced into the air, came down to Aitken, who rolled it along the boards, held it by Timonen. Kimmo Timonen at the far point. Sends it along the boards. Walker put it to the side of the net. Centering pass too far for Zidlicki. Rolled back to the line. Timonen holding it in to the near corner. Zidlicki tried to center just over the stick of Sullivan. Now Sullivan has it on the far board. He hangs on, tried to center. Zidlicki, good save by Monroe from post to post. Zidlicki snuck in, a good pass found him. Monroe was better.
Well, Monroe read that play perfectly and was in excellent position before the puck even got across to Zidlicki. That's just a great play by Adam Monroe, reading that, not focusing completely on the shot, but understanding that that pass across ice is there. And before Zidlicki could walk in and shoot the puck, Adam Monroe had already moved from his right to his left, so that showed some composure and experience on that play alone.
Now the Hawks penalty over. Here's Johnson trying to walk in, shoots. That was blocked, deflected in behind. We're going to have another Hawk penalty coming up. Here's a center pass, knocked away from Stevenson in behind the net. Hawks control. Whistle sounds. Nashville back to the power play with 7 minutes gone in the first. 1-0 Chicago. This is Blackhawk hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
Do you have a passion? Something that you live for?
That you sacrifice for?
That you give everything to without blinking an eye? WrestleMania. That's my passion. My passion. The thing you dream about. But what you do makes you who you are. WrestleMania 20. Madison Square Garden. Where it all begins. Again.
WrestleMania 20, Sunday, March 14th, live on pay-per-view.
Unsurpassed engineering, unparalleled technology. It blows away the competition. Champion, Mach 3 Turbo Champion. It's the world's best shave. Gillette guarantees it. Now with a red-hot new look, nothing else even comes close. Test drive one today. Mach 3 Turbo Champion. From Gillette, the best a man can get. Mach 3 Turbo, the official blade of the NHL.
Up by Monroe. Quint playing tonight for the first time since January the 22nd. He just got tagged for holding the stick penalty. And the red-hot Nashville power play gets another chance here with a face-off coming to the left of Adam Monroe. Here's the draw to the Preds. Timonen sends it in deep. Here corner Walker. Left it there for Sullivan. Sullivan goes rink wide. Zidlicki put it to the far side. Now has it again. Zidlicki far board to Walker. Scott Walker threw it in behind the net. Here's a stop shot by Sullivan and a save by Monroe. Rebound taken by Walker far board. Walks to the dot for Sullivan. He's forced in behind, now had it knocked away. Sullivan got it back, trying to center, picked off, and the Hawks able to clear it with Bell doing the honors.
Well, the Blackhawks know that play by Steve Sullivan. He's going to try and get the puck just behind the goal line and try and come around and stuff it, but good coverage down low is not allowing Steve Sullivan to get in front of that line other than his stick, and if they do that, Monroe's going to make a save.
Sullivan over the line, looking to center, picked off, and deflected back to the neutral zone, and a good read by Korolev. Sullivan has played 6 games for the Predators. Here's Moen walking in. They back right off a shot and a save by Vokoun. But in 6 games for Nashville, 6 goals, 6 assists for Sullivan. Most of that, almost all of that damage has come by way of the Predator power play. Now here's a centering attempt, deflecting away from Sullivan. Came to the near corner, Erad. Along the boards, the Hall. Cleared it over to the far side. Sullivan had his pass deflect all the way back into the Predator end.
In the first game that Sullivan played, they were 5 for 7 on the power play, and Sully's first 3 shots as a Nashville Predator on the power play all went in. Pretty decent debut for him.
Now here come the Predators. Erad on right wing, cleared it into the near corner. Johansson gave it back to Martin Erad. Looking for help out in front. Hall is there. Erad walks in, shoots, and a stick save by Monroe. Now the Chicago penalty over. Both teams are at full strength. As Hamuse will shoot one in. Back of the Hawk. Oh, Dempsey sort of stood there. I guess he thought Monroe was going to play it. Instead, it's picked off. Now here's the centering attempt. Deflecting to the near corner. Hutchinson cleared it in behind the Hawk goal. Dempsey put it around the boards. Hamuse held it in. It deflects to Dempsey. Put it to the feet of Calder. He couldn't find it. Arneson then did. Got away from a check. Rolled it in for Calder with room over the line. Cutting in. Fakes. Now shoots Vokoun. And he made a second save on Calder's rebound. And the Hawks are going to get a power play here. And Monroe stayed. He was heading for a change. The Hawks made a bad pass in the offensive zone. It was going to go wide of the empty net, but it was going to be exciting there for a second or two. And finally the Preds control. The whistle sounds.
Well, you mentioned the fact that Adam Monroe was wise enough to make sure that that puck wasn't going to go in the net, but it was a great counter by the Blackhawks through the neutral zone. Arneson made a little dipsy-doodle move and then threw it down the left-hand side to Kyle Calder, who walked in, hesitated just a little bit. Thomas Vokoun came out to cover down the angle, and he was way out of position, and Tuomo Ruutu couldn't pick up the rebound, but a little bit of a hesitation, faked the slap shot, dropped the shoulder by Kyle Calder, really took Thomas Vokoun out of position, and the Predators' net was wide open, but none of the other Blackhawks could seem to find the handle and bury it.
Now the draw cleared into the Chicago zone. And here comes Berard. Well, this power play already struggling. It took him 3 seconds to score the first one. Here comes a shot by Calder. And a save by Vokoun. Picked up by Ruutu to the far side. Tuomo Ruutu tees it up, shoots one. Stand-up save, Vokoun. He took it up high. Now it's held in by Ruutu along the board. Chipped it into the corner, Arneson. Looking for help from Calder. It's knocked off his stick. The Predators' Walker is sandwiched in the corner. And the Hawks able to jam it loose along the board. And it's knocked away from Dempsey, who recovered beautifully to beat Walker to a loose puck at center. Back comes Ruutu shooting. Gobbled up by Vokoun. He held it.
Well, in my opinion, Pat, the Nashville Predators haven't played very well in their own zone. A lot of opportunities seem to have been coming by Predators being completely out of position. Thomas Vokoun has been left all alone a couple times, and the Blackhawks haven't been able to capitalize on it the way that they would like to. But you know, this is a team that you kind of think is well coached. Barry Trotz is an excellent coach, and it's very solid defensively, but they've given up some good opportunities by the Blackhawks inside their zone.
Bell in the near corner, left it there. Ellison rolled it to the line. Vandermeer did well to keep it in, but his pass deflects, and the Hawks will have to chase back. Just under a minute to go on the Chicago power play. 1-0 in favor of the Hawks midway through the first. Here's a steal by Orzag. He's centered. Good recovery by Vandermeer to break up the pass. Now Berard to the Predator line. Walks through a check, tried to center. That's deflected. Picked up now by Keith along the boards. He left it for Ellison. Matt Ellison to Keith's side of the net. Gave it back to Ellison. He centered one. Here's Bell. He was tied up just as he was ready to shoot. Ellison along the boards. And it knocked away. Vandermeer, though, kept it in. Now on the near side, Keith moves toward the net. Waits, centered, picked off. And the Predators able to clear it. That'll finish the Nashville penalty now. Both teams are at full strength. The Hawks, Jason Strudwick bounced it back to center ice. Scott Nickel had it knocked away, and it's corralled now by Strudwick in his own end. He clears it to center, and on an delayed offside call, the whistle sounds. 8 minutes to go in the first. 1-0 Chicago. This is Blackhawk hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
For the first time in its 28-year history, the Arnold Classic has arrived on view. Saturday, March 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern, Jay Cutler, reigning Arnold champion, returns to defend his title against Cormier, Levrone, and other top bodybuilding athletes battling for their share of $400,000 in cash and prizes, including a brand new Hummer. And of course, Arnold will be there. Stay home. Fuel delivers.
The beauty of the suit is that the bottoms match the top. So all you have to do is throw on a shirt and tie and you're out the door. You get to work earlier, your productivity goes up, you get a bigger bonus, put the kids in better schools, they get better jobs, make tons of money, buy you a home to retire to on an island. No wonder suits are coming back. Suits starting at just $150. Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moores.
What smells so good?
Scotiabank Money Master RSP account. Highest rate of the big 5 banks. It's where to put your money while you figure out where to put your money. Scotiabank.
Fans catch the Blackhawks at the United Center this Friday night as they take on Sergei Fedorov and the Anaheim Mighty Ducks at 7:30. Get your tickets today by calling Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212.
Face-off coming here in the neutral zone. And the draw is controlled by the Hawks. Darren Quint rolled it to center. Now the Predators will shoot it in. Comes to the near side at 2-2. Put it in behind the Hawk goal. McKenzie left it in the corner for Hall. Back of the net to 2-2. He's got 3 goals so far this year. His pass deflecting. Winds up back at center ice. You know, Trump, looking at this line that the Predators have, 2-2, McKenzie, and Hall, the 2 wingers on that line, have been real presences physically this season for the Nashville Predators. And, you know, when talking to their general manager, David Poyle, before the game tonight, there's no accident in the fact that those guys are part of the Nashville team now. They've felt for, this has always been a hard-working team, usually with smaller type forwards. Here they're going to have a 2-on-1 break. Arkapaw cuts it for Erad. His shot was blocked by Berard, who might have saved a goal. Now Erad in the near corner. Had it knocked off his stick. Picked up by Orzog. Looking for Erad. He's checked by Berard, who knocked him down twice. And it rolled to the line. Arkapov's long shot never got through. And now it's picked up by Berard. Bearing to the Nashville zone. But the Predators, even though they were a hard-working, fast-skating team with the smaller type forwards their first 5 years in the league, they consciously made a decision during the past offseason to say, we're tired of getting pushed around. And I don't think there's a real surprise that they went and got to some people like McKenzie and brought in 2-2 to sort of add to their physical abilities. And look what's happened to their team. They are 9 games over the 500 mark. They've never been that since coming into the NHL. This is the best plus minus they've ever had, 9 games over the 500 level. So it's the physical dimension that they've added to this team with some great goaltending from Bokun has been very helpful to them.
Well, there's no question that big Jim McKenzie, he won the Stanley Cup last year with the New Jersey Devils. So
here's Nickel trying to walk in with a stop shot. Bokun stopped it.
Not only did they, they picked up an enforcer, but he's been to the championship, and those kind of things you just can't teach. So Jim McKenzie has that experience, and he can bring that into the locker room, and I think that's caused a lot of the things that have happened well for the Predators this year too.
And the one thing that they really have not had is that postseason presence. Of the 20 guys that are playing, only 6 have ever been in the playoffs. Of the 20 guys in the Nashville lineup tonight. Late in the first, 1-0 Hawks. This is Blackhawk hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
Unsurpassed engineering, unparalleled technology. It blows away the competition. Champion, Mach 3 Turbo Champion. It's the world's best shave. Gillette guarantees it. Now with a red-hot new look, nothing else even comes close. Test drive one today. Mach 3 Turbo Champion. From Gillette, the best a man can get. Mach 3 Turbo, the official blade of the NHL.
From a 1-0 lead by way of a power play goal. Now in the late part of the first period as the puck is dumped into the Chicago zone. Vandermeer in the corner. Had it knocked away. Now picked up by the Preds Erat. He's checked along the boards by Matt Ellison. Now Erat trying to jam it loose. Left it for Arkhipov. He's grabbed along the boards. And Dempsey able to come out of there with it. He floats one up over the stick of Lang. This one sliding the lane for an icing call. Talking to Quentin Lang a little bit before the game. Troy made his NHL debut yesterday. 24 years of age. Very popular player with the Norfolk Admirals. And it's easy to see why, talking to him a little bit. Got a smile that's easy to bring out. I asked him about his first NHL game and whether he remembered everything about it or was just sort of a blur. He said, I remember everything. Everything.
Good for him.
It was kind of cool talking to him. He was just talking about little situations that happened during the game and stuff, and he said, I was sitting there in the locker room after the game and I still wasn't really sure that everything, it had just happened. It was really neat to see the enthusiasm of that young guy. And now here come the Preds, and a shot goes wide from 2-2. As they wrestle for it along the boards. Nickel rolled it loose. Mullen checked by Hall. Now it's corralled by Jonathan Aitken. And then Brian Berard's going to get a shot on goal from his own blue line. The Hawks wanted to change. 2-2. Carries it ahead, but couldn't get any further than the Hawk blue line. Now Calder rolled it in there. Arnest into the far corner, unable to pick it up. Calder wrapped up in the corner by Legwan. Now Arneson trying to pry it free. Danced on Timonen, moves in, shoots. Glove save by Vokoun, who had thoughts of playing it, and will think again and hold it.
Well, you mentioned Quentin Lang, and I was on the bus from the airport here in Nashville to the hotel, and he had made a phone call to somebody, I don't know if it was his roommate or something, but he was going on and talking about the game, and he goes, yeah, man, it was awesome. And, he, and I'm just sitting there, and I had a smile on my face because he, as you mentioned, was just generally excited to be here and play in his first NHL game, and that's what you like to see. And Brian Sutter's mentioned that several times. You know, you see all these kids in different situations, and you got to remember that they are just kids, and they're playing in the National Hockey League, so it's just amazing for these kids to get the opportunity that they're getting here in Chicago.
Now Mark Bell in the Predator zone, rolled it to the corner. Nicholas got it back to Bell. He flipped it around the boards. Strudwick will pinch to keep it in. It's kicked loose in behind. Eaton and Nicholas collide there. Then Nickel picked it up. Scott Nickel to Bell on the near board. His long wrist shot handled easily by Vokoun, and he will cover it up.
Mark Eaton doesn't have a glove and doesn't have a helmet. That was a bad shift for him. He's got 2 skates on, which is good.
Jeez, when did the music start? I didn't even notice.
He was chuckling as he was skating off the ice. He realized that was kind of a tough shift. No glove, no helmet.
A garage sale in the Nashville zone. All right, here's the draw on the Predator end. And Hughes able to flip it out to center. Here come the Preds. Arkhipov left it for Erad on the near board. Well, Orzog rather centered, and Erad chipped it wide. Now in behind the goal. The Predators. Erad spins to the corner. Again, step behind, trying to center. It ran right through the legs of Arkhipov. And Calder sends Arneson to center. Ice back to Calder, and the pass deflecting up over the glass, out of play.
Brian Bryard, known basically for his offense, and he has been excellent on the offensive side of it, but he's made a really good couple plays here in the first period defensively in front of Adam Monroe. The last time in solid position to the left of Adam Monroe, not allowing a shot to come through, and playing a 2-on-1 earlier just the way you should be. Let the goaltender handle the shot and then take away the pass, and as soon as the pass was made across, Brian Bryard with his great lateral movement skated across and blocked the shot before it got to Monroe. But a couple of excellent defensive plays by Brian Bryard early.
Here's the draw now. Korolev checked, Vandenbush carried on. He was bumped off the puck by Zidlichky with a very good open ice hit. And behind the goal is Zidlichky for the Preds. Vandenbush going to run at him, but Zidlichky got rid of it and shot it to center.
Come back here.
We go to the final minute of the first. Korolev nearly had his pocket pick. In behind the goal it goes. Then Walker for Legwand on the end board. David Legwand left it on the far side. Now Sullivan in behind the net. Works his way over to the far side against Vandermeer. Now Sullivan's check. Vandermeer took it away. Owen Moen had to go for a change. It would have been a 2-on-1. Vandermeer over the line now. Waits. Hangs on. Dropped it back. Here's Nicholas. A shot right on. And a save by Vokoun. Rebound is cleared to Walker, and he jammed it to center. No way, no way. The Hawks dump it right back in there. Now picked up by Scott Nickel to the far side. Bell, here's a shot, tip, and a good save by Vokoun, as Nicholas, I believe, got a piece of that.
What started off as kind of a slow offensive game for the Blackhawks have turned in some pretty good scoring opportunities. Thomas Vokoun has had to come up with a number of key saves inside the Nashville zone to keep this just a 1-goal game for the Chicago Blackhawks, but lots of traffic in front of him, lots of shots going in the general direction. Thomas Vokoun has been red hot. He's 5-2-1 in the last 8 games that he has played, and only allowed, well, 2 goals now in the last 2+1 periods, or 2+1 games that he has played in. Very solid goal. Had a really tough slump going on just before the All-Star break when he was named to the All-Star team, and they asked him if that was a distraction. He said, well, yeah, probably, but I was a little bit tired at that point too, and more mentally than physically was the problem.
Well, the first period comes to an end, and the Blackhawks will take the lead into the opening intermission. Each team had 11 shots in the first 20 tonight. The Blackhawks got a power play chance pretty early in the game, and it took them 3 seconds to make good on it. Ruutu got control of a face-off, and Arneson let one go. And that is the game's only goal, because at the other end, Adam Monroe had a nice debut to open up his NHL career. He gobbled up all 11.
What are you doing?
I'm diversifying our portfolio. Gotta manage the risk.
You have no idea what you're doing, do you?
Absolutely not.
Scotia Partners Portfolios Funds. 6 top Canadian mutual funds. 1 investment.
Entertainment for the bus ride to the Stouffville Clippers away game, $140. 1 bag of cheesies, Tim Hortons donuts, Smarties, and pop, $42. Motel rooms for the night, $240. Knowing there's a big, clean sheet of ice waiting on the other end, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, fan of the NHL and those who love hockey above all else.
Adam Monroe to our left for Chicago, and Thomas Vokoun to our right for Nashville. The Blackhawks have been playing well enough lately that they got 3 shots on goal during the intermission. We left you. We told you it was 11 shots each. That's what the scoreboard said here, but the final tally is a 14-11 favoring the Hawks as we start the second, and the Hawks have a 1-0 lead. Here's the draw. Arkhipov got spun around by Berard. Now at center, Hamuse had a pass deflect. Bell rolled one to the Nashville zone. Now picked up by Eakin, over the line, shooting. Well out came Vokoun to make the stop. Rebound deflected up off a couple bodies in behind Zidlitsky. Rings it around and out. This one will be an icing call against the home side, and a pretty good scoring chance against Vokoun right off the hop.
John Aiken read the play through the neutral zone and stepped right up, picked up an errant pass and walked in. And you mentioned how far Thomas Vokoun came out to shut down the angle. A big blast by John Aiken, but not a lot of room from that far out when the goaltender Thomas Vokoun comes out so far out of his crease. There's just not a whole lot of room to get by.
The draw to the Predators, Eaton checked. Ruutu took it away, but his pass is picked off. And now it's cleared into the Chicago zone. Johansson will arrive first in the corner. He's checked by Dempsey, but he held on to it. Johansson now had his pocket picked. And then Arneson's clearing attempt held in, but Dempsey carried on. And then lost it at center ice. The Predators dump it in. Vandermeer back. Put it around the boards. Calder able to get help from Arneson. He rolled that. Oh, it was at the feet of Dempsey. The Hawks were off with a 2-on-1. Now Vandermeer from his own end. Will send Dempsey to center. He put it in deep. Picked up by the Predators, Sullivan, who cleared it back into the Chicago zone. The race is on for icing. Sullivan able to touch up to save the whistle. Then Korolev is wrapped up. Sullivan got to it in the near corner. Hold it along the boards. Down the far side, Walker. Checked by Strudwick. Back of the goal, Sullivan against Quint. Sullivan works his way to the near side. Now picked up by Walker in behind. He missed Legwan with a pass, and it's cleared back to center ice. Steve Sullivan, who now leads the Predators in goals with 21 and in assists with 34. He's got 6 more points than Scott Walker does on the top of the Nashville scoring parade. As Vandermeer now cleared it to the Nashville zone, and offside is whistled against Chicago.
On Friday, March the 5th, the first 10,000 fans to enter the United Center will receive a Blackhawk puck slammer, courtesy of Fox Sports Net. And Pat, you mentioned the fact that Steve Sullivan has been scoring some goals of late. He only had 7 goals in the first 46 games of the season this year. He's got 14 in the last 16 games, and he is known as a streaky goal scorer. And he said, I hope this streak lasts longer than they usually do.
Hawks trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Now the puck came just outside the line, so an offside call against Chicago. Barry Trotz has been the only coach the Predators have ever had. This is his 475th game behind the Nashville bench. This is their 6th year in the National Hockey League, and we told you earlier the Predators 9 games over the 500 mark. That's the best mark they've ever had since coming into the league. And unfortunately for them, it has not really translated at the turnstiles. They are averaging only 12,500 here at the Gaylord Entertainment Center. They've had only 3 sellouts all season long. Their average attendance, the 3rd worst in the National Hockey League, and they're starting to talk about it now in the press a little bit that they're, they just added a player like Steve Sullivan to help them in the playoff push. They've got a good team here. They usually are a pretty hard-working team. They got a good goaltender. They're in a wonderful position to qualify for the postseason for their first time ever. But they say they really have had trouble here, particularly in midweek games, getting anybody to come downtown and see the Predators play. So they really are almost at wit's end trying to figure out what they need to do to get people to come to the rink. Here's Orzog walking in, and a diving poke check by Berard. It looked like Orzog had beaten Berard, and from behind he was able to sprawl to the ice and execute a sweep check. Now the Predators, Hamuse. The Erad at center, cleared it ahead. Orzog couldn't hold the pass. Comes to the near corner. Berard rolled it up the boards, and Matt Keith will hammer it back the other way. It'll be icing against Chicago.
Well, we've already talked about Brian Berard making several spectacular defensive plays in the first period. Well, here's another one. Nice dipsy doodle, but Brian Berard beat the first time, dove back, and knocked the puck out of harm's way on a second effort. But Brian Berard is playing some excellent D in tonight's game.
Berard with 19 points in his last 16 games. And now is within 6 points of a Blackhawk scoring lead. Mark Bell leads with 40 points, and Berard has 34. Here's the draw. Control by the Hawks. Quinn bounced one ahead, not out, then it's kicked loose, stolen by Ruutu, rolled it over the line. Arneson cuts right to the net, 2-on-1. He waits, he shoots, hit the goal post. Arneson beat Vokoun to the glove side and rattled the pipe. Now Ruutu turns on the near board. Works to the corner, tried to slip it out in front. It's a kick back to the corner. Arneson picked it up there. In behind to Calder. Kyle Calder check. And it's knocked away to Johnson, but he couldn't get it out. Got around to the near board, and this one deflects back into the Blackhawks zone. It will be icing against the Predators after the Hawks came within inches of adding to the lead.
Tyler Arneson, who scored the first goal of the game for the Blackhawks, went in on a 2-on-1. Tomo Ruutu following up in the high slot area, but Tyler Arneson electing to go top shelf, and he beat Vokoun only to be denied by the post. So Tyler Arneson, who went 11 games without a goal, has had a goal and some good scoring opportunities here tonight.
Face off to the left of Vokoun, who tonight plays his 9th consecutive game for the Preds. Here's Bell for Dempsey, a long shot. Glove save, Vokoun. And he hangs onto it. Troy told you earlier that Thomas Vokoun, prior to tonight, had given up only 1 goal in his last 2 games, and he had a nice run of almost 120 consecutive minutes without allowing a goal. He's got 29 wins. That's his career high and a franchise record here in Nashville. Here's the draw in the Predator zone. Picked up by Hamuse, whose pass was stolen by Bell at center. Then Legwan got it back. He's checked by pesky Scott Nickel along the boards. Hawks steal. And it's cleared into the Predator zone. Taken by Walker for Legwan. He couldn't hang on to it. Oops, Nicholas overskated it though, and Legwan comes out. To Walker over the line. Shoot! That hit a leg to Legwan. And his wrister went wide. Now Sullivan on the far side. Rolled it into the corner. Walker for Legwan. He cuts right to the slot, and he was tied up before he could pull the trigger. Held it by Hamuse. A nice recovery defensively by Nicholas to stop what should have been a good scoring chance for David Legwan. And now the Hawks get Bell to center for Dempsey over the line. Cuts in behind. Now shoots from a bad angle. Sticked away by Vokoun. Shot back into the Hawks zone. Monroe coming out of the net. Now waits. And we're going to have a penalty coming up. Sullivan was speeding in there trying to retrieve a loose puck. And Monroe started out of the net but wasn't sure whether he should or not, so he stayed home. And the Preds will head to the power play. It's 1-0 Chicago. This is Blackhawk hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
For the first time in its 28-year history, the Arnold Classic has arrived on view. Saturday, March 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern, Jay Cutler, reigning Arnold champion, returns to defend his title against Cormier, Levrone, and other top bodybuilding athletes battling for their share of $400,000 in cash and prizes, including a brand new Hummer. And of course, Arnold will be there. Stay home. Fuel delivers.
Where do you go from tough? 56 years of tough truck. How much horsepower is enough? How many pound-feet of torque is necessary? What is the ultimate payload? It's time to rethink the problem. It's time to rethink the truck.
What smells so good?
Scotiabank Money Master RSP account. Highest rate of the big 5 banks. It's where to put your money while you figure out where to put your money. Scotiabank.
Sullivan before he could get to the puck, but a penalty for the Blackhawks.
And the Preds again to the man advantage. Here they are in the Hawk zone at the line. Timonen put it to the near side. Litzky center one, a tip. Good save by Monroe on a deflection. And the Hawks able to pick it up with Strudwick clearing.
Boy, that puck seemed like it just took forever to get into Adam Monroe. Adam Hall deflected the puck right in front of him, but seemed like it was a delayed reaction by everybody and nobody knew where the puck was.
Erad stepped over the Hawk line, works to the near side, dropped it back to Zidlitzky. Or Erad near board. Back to the deep slot. Zidlitzky put it across Walker. Or Timonen, I should say, gave it to Zidlitzky. They're on the perimeter of the Predators. Now here's Timonen with a long shot blocked by Nicholas. Picked up on the near side by the Hawks. Nickel. Hey, cleared it down all the way a minute to go on the Chicago penalty. Here's Quentin Lang out there in his second NHL game, getting a chance to try to kill this penalty. Bell then steals one in his own end, but he's checked. Wrestling for it along the boards. Preds keep it in. Timonen then lost it, and the Preds will have to chase back.
Timonen and Zidlitzky, the 2-point men for the Predators on the power play. Timonen has a good shot, and he likes to move from the boards, drag it to the middle of the ice, but the Blackhawks have done an excellent job so far of not allowing that play by the Predators. That's where they want to generate all their offense, from the point, and they haven't been able to do that.
Now the Hawks, Korolev in over the Nashville line. Had it knocked off his stick. Picked up now by Jim Vandermeer. And the Predators are changing, so he waits a few seconds before clearing, and that will finish. The Chicago penalty. Both teams now are at full strength, and we told you the Predator power play had scored 10 goals in their last 6 games, but are nothing out of 3 so far tonight.
The only scoring chance they had in that last power play was a deflection by Adam Hall that Monroe had no problem corralling, so it's some good penalty killing by the Blackhawks so far this evening.
Vandermeer trying to keep one in the Predator end. Finally, it's taken off his stick and cleared to the Hawk blue line to Dempsey. Now they get organized, and Dempsey will be forced into the corner. Checked there by Orzag. Finally, Arneson came to help out. Out he comes, Tyler Arneson. To center Vandermeer, along wrist shot gloved by Vokoun, who dropped the puck at his own goal crease and swept it out. Here's McKenzie on left wing, sending it in there. Taken by Arneson. Up the boards, Calder. He rolled it to center. The Predators, Johansson sends it into Chicago ice. Johnson checked by Aitken in the corner. They wrestle along the boards. Johnson then had it knocked off his stick, and it's cleared to center by Keith. Matt Keith then sends it in. Hutchinson clears it around the boards. Taken by Johansson in over the Hawk line, weaves to the deep flat, tees it up, shoot, and a glove save by Monroe. He held it halfway through the second. 1-0 Chicago. This is Blackhawk hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
Great news. There's 2 new delicious ways to get the great taste of Subway with less than 11 grams of carbs. Atkins Chicken Bacon Ranch Wrap and Turkey and Bacon Melt Wrap. Subway. Eat fresh.
Have a 1-0 lead over the Nashville Predators. Face off deep in Chicago's zone.
Now the draw is picked up by the Hawks. Eric Nicholas tipped it to the far side. And Bell rolled it in deep. Nickel chased it down. Checked by Legwan. And the puck deflecting up over the glass and out of play.
Adam Monroe, you can always tell a goaltender of where he's been and in his travels, and if you get a look at Adam Monroe, he's wearing generic white. He's got an all-white helmet. They did put a couple Blackhawk stickers on there. His gloves are white, pads are white, and in today's day and age, all the sports companies, they want you to wear their stuff, and they will have masks that are painted and all kinds of gloves that are in the team colors, and the pads are all fancy, but Adam Monroe wearing the generic white. He's not sure where he's going to be. He started out this year, Pat, for the Gwinnett Gladiators in the East Coast Hockey League.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that is.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I hope I never find out where it is. He actually went to Ottawa's training camp as a free agent, and the Blackhawks, after Jocelyn Thibault went down, signed him to a 25-game pro tryout with the Norfolk Admirals, and actually gave him another 25-game pro tryout. And then they brought him up, and he's playing in his first NHL game.
Orlev pulls the trigger, but shot one wide. Strudwick bounced one to the far corner. Now in behind Korolev. Korolev sent it to Quint, who had snuck in, but as a shot rolled off the end of his stick, went wide. Well, they wrestle forward in the Nashville zone, and it'll be held long enough for a whistle. Back in the Adam Monroe was originally drafted by the Hawks 29th overall in the 2001 NHL draft. That was the draft where the Hawks picked up Tuomo Ruutu, and a lot of people wondered whether the Blackhawks were going to draft. There was a goaltender available named Dan Blackburn, who went after Ruutu was picked. Blackburn went next to the New York Rangers. And then with their next selection, which was 29th overall, the Hawks, feeling like they wanted to try to get something at that goaltending position, picked up Monroe, but they never signed him. He went back into the draft this last season, or this last summer, and he was never picked when he went back into the draft pool. So he was really a man without a team for a while. As you mentioned, he went to Ottawa, had a pretty good camp, but in a numbers game, they decided to let him go, and it was really well into the season before he ever really got a chance with the Norfolk Admirals, with the Blackhawk goaltending situation being in a bit of flux. Monroe finally got his chance, and the team that originally drafted him, now he finally gets to play his first NHL game.
Yeah, it was November 20th that he did sign with the Norfolk Admirals, and then they signed him again January 17th because they still had, obviously, the problems with the goaltending injuries to Jocelyn Thibault. So getting an opportunity that he probably wouldn't have got if Jocelyn Thibault hadn't been hurt.
As Vokoun covers up a bouncing puck in his own end, but you have to be impressed with what you've seen so far from Adam Monroe. He doesn't look like he's a particularly excitable. He rather economical with his moves, and he doesn't look like it's his first NHL game.
No, and he was riding the bike just before the game tonight, and I talked to him and I said good luck, and he was very calm and collective, so he's done an excellent job in his NHL debut. Just another dilemma that the Blackhawks will have to deal with at some point. Craig Anderson. Actually, Pat, you mentioned that draft in 2001. Ruutu was the first pick. Adam Monroe was the second pick. Matt Keith, who was playing in tonight's game, was the third pick. And Craig Anderson was the fourth pick. So that's a pretty good draft group of players right there.
Now it's in the Nashville zone. Arkhipov bringing it around the boards. Hamhuis up the left side to Erat. He tries to go rink wide. Arkhipov lost as he got to the line, and the whistle sounds.
Blackhawks have done an excellent job of frustrating the Nashville Predators. Brian Trotz talked about his system as an aggressive trap and described that the Blackhawks system was more one-on-one aggressive forechecking through the neutral zone. The Blackhawks will send one guy at one defenseman, and the other forward will take away the other defenseman. Where a trap system that's aggressive, you'll send one guy in to cut off half the ice, and the rest of the players will follow in the direction that the puck goes. But two different systems, and it seems like Brian Sutter's system is getting the better of the Predators so far.
Here's Nickel now in the Nashville zone, clearing it around the boards. Walker chased it down, failed to get it out. Vandermeer put it back in there deep. And the puck then eventually cleared to center ice. Bouncing around to the Preds, Walker. We've been very complimentary to Adam Monroe. And Troy, we've been told that the shot clock here in Nashville is very slow with their reactions, but We're 14 minutes into this period, and that puck directed at Monroe would be the first shot on goal according to the clock. Now, I'm sure that's wrong because Adam Hall had a tip opportunity earlier. But they're still showing Nashville with only 11 shots. That's what they had at the end of one. And we have now 6 minutes remaining in the second, and we unofficially have Nashville with 3 shots in this period. So a good period for the Hawks. They lead 1-0. This is Hawk Hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
That's interesting.
You better start believing in ghost stories. You're in one.
Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Entertainment for the bus ride to the Stouffville Clippers away game, $140. 1 bag of cheesies, Tim Hortons donuts, Smarties, and pop, $42. Motel rooms for the night, $240. Knowing there's a big, clean sheet of ice waiting on the other end, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, fan of the NHL and those who love hockey above all else.
One reason we decided to start renting tuxedos at Moore's is because guys aren't just wearing them for weddings anymore. It could be a date, a fancy dinner, or the prom. They head to Moore's, select the style they want, get fitted, pick it up, and off they go. So when you rent a tuxedo from Moore's, you can relax and feel confident you'll look good on special occasions. Even the most important ones. Tuxedo rental packages from as little as $60. Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moore's.
In Nashville, the Blackhawks with a 1-0 lead over the Predators, who had come into this game with 5 wins and a loss in their last 6 starts. But they have really been frustrated so far by a hard-working Chicago group so far tonight. A long wrister from Korolev handled easily by Vokoun, and then some pushing and shoving after the fact as Jamie Allison and Travis Moen had a bit of a stare down. Allison has not played very much tonight, but the ex-Blackhawk, I think, wanting to try to pump a little life into his group.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jamie Allison was doing, and I really liked Jamie Allison when he was playing Chicago. He's one of those guys that knows when your team needs some energy, and I think that he was trying to go out there and pick a fight with Travis Moen. Didn't happen, and we'll have to see what happens, because I think that Brian Trotz is not really happy with the way his team has performed so far.
Here comes Johansson cutting it around and check to the backhand. He shoots. Woo-hoo, made the save. Almost gave a rebound. Able to dive and cover.
Oh, a great save by Adam Monroe. Looked like he was a little bit out of position, but Jeremy Stevens was the guy that came in and got a couple whacks at it after the fact. Andreas Johansson walked in on a backhand. Adam Monroe in good position. Darren Quint into the crease, kind of taking Adam Monroe's left pad out of position, but Monroe was focusing up on the shot that he followed it through, made the save, and jumped on the rebound.
So we'll have a face-off to the left of Monroe with 5.5 to go in the second period. And Tuomo Ruutu won a very important face-off in period 1, right in this spot. That led to the Hawk goal. This time, though, he's beaten on the draw. Here's a long shot. That hits some traffic out in front to Arneson. And Tyler Arneson able to roll it back to center ice. Mark Eaton to Stevenson, who shoots it in. Back of the goal, Arneson to the left side, Calder. He was checked, couldn't get it out. Now here's the Stevenson around to check, cuts in, shoots, and the right pad of Monroe in the proper spot to make a good stop. The Hawks send it back the other way in the near corner. Calder leaving for Arneson. Tyler Arneson checked along the boards, and then it's corralled by Johansson for the home team. They'll shoot it in. The Predators are in need of a change. Berard is hounded. Now lost at Erat, but his shot blocked by Aitken. Clearing to center. Calder will send it in. The Hawks need a change as well. Martin Erat on the left wing board. Able to clear it to center. Now Quentin Lang able to battle his way back in there. Good shot over to the far side. Orzog couldn't pick it up. And then the squirts loose along the boards to the Preds. A nice poke check by Quint broke up the rush. And Darren Quint puts it off the glass to center. Matt Keith. Tied up along the boards. And it'll be dumped back into the Chicago zone. Here's Keith now on right wing to center. Oh, and he tried to dump it in. Then his stick came up and got Hamuse. He's going to get a penalty as the Hawks steal. The whistle sounds, and Nashville will get a late second period power play here.
Well, it's a penalty that you can accept. Matt Keith was just trying to drive into the Predators zone, tried to dump the puck in and didn't quite get in, and he just followed through, got his stick up a little bit too high, but at the same time you want to see those kind of efforts. I mean, he's just going in that general direction. He's not going around anybody, trying to follow through. Hamuse standing him up but taking the better lick of it. Draws the penalty.
Now the draw taken by Korolev. Predators will have to chase back. 1-0 Chicago, 3 minutes to go in the second period. Here's Sullivan. Shot it to an open wing. Reds will have to chase back. Now Kimmo Timonen starts away for Nashville. Weaving to center. Backhands it over the line to Hall. He tried to shoot it, bounced. And after it was blocked, it bounced crazily on net. Monroe able to get in the way. Comes to the near side, held in by Zidlitsky. Put it across Timonen, a one-timer. Gobbled up by Monroe. Now, there have been several occasions tonight, Troy, where Monroe not only has made good saves, hasn't given up a loose puck.
And he's just on top of it. He's reading the play before it happens. He knows that Zidlicki and Timonen like to pass back and forth to one another for the one-timers. And Adam Monroe is in great position. He sees the pass coming across. He moves from his left to his right and is standing right there when the shot's coming. So there's no wasted energy. There's no way to get out of position when you read it that soon. You're right in the direct line of the shot coming towards you.
Now the draw to the Preds. They get things set up on their power play, which has just under a minute left. Zidlitsky for Timonen, one-timer. Deflected just wide. Aimed to the near side. Sullivan in the corner. Rolled it loose. Strudwick stealing. Backhands it up the board. Sullivan got it back. Sullivan. Checked now by Strudwick. They battle for it along the boards. Strudwick came up with it. Hey, cleared it all the way down.
Excellent work by the Blackhawk penalty killers again, and some really smart backdoor plays where the coverage has to be alert and has to be sharp. You have to have your head on a swivel. The Blackhawk defenders have been doing that in their own zone.
Hamuse was stopped by Dempsey. Now the Predators regroup at center. Johansson forced to turn. That's going to run out the remaining time. The penalty over now. And both teams are at full strength, but here they come over the line. Here's a drive and a save by Monroe. Rebound to Orzog. On the near side, he put it to the line. Hamuse to the corner. Picked up now by Johansson, trying to center, deflecting to Keith. And he pushed it back into the Predator end. And now we go to the final minute of period 2. Greg Johnson dumped it in. Back of the Hawk goal it goes. Orzog bothered by Arneson. And Johnson had his pass picked off. It deflects to Calder. Now Ruutu. Tuomo Ruutu put it over the line. Arneson ran it through his legs. A broad long shot. Tip, good save on a deflection by Ruutu. And a better stop by Vokoun. Leg one the other way. gains the line, drives to the net, centered. That one too far, and a penalty going to be called against Chicago. The Predators are going to go back to the power play.
Now, Tyler Arneson's going to end up in the box for hooking, and Jamie Allison came in from his left point position. But I kind of got to disagree with this one. Jamie Allison wasn't going to get to the puck, and Tyler Arneson coming back was in pretty good defensive positioning, and Jamie Allison went down to one knee, but I thought that was pretty good positioning by Tyler Arneson in his own zone to deny an opportunity for the Predators to get a scoring chance.
This is the 5th power play of the game for Nashville. For the season, their 341st power play. Nobody has had more man advantages in the league than the Nashville Predators. Here's Tiemann into the line. His long shot is blocked as the horn sounds to end the second period. So far, so good for 21-year-old Adam Monroe and the Chicago Blackhawks. Monroe has been good, but as we touched on in that period, he's gotten some help. Ryan Berard has made a couple of big defensive plays, and Monroe, when called upon, has been rock solid, making stops and very rarely giving up any rebounds. We have played 2.
For doubleheader action.
Jovanovski scores! What a goal!
Tune in to CBC's Hockey Night in Canada every Saturday for the most comprehensive hockey coverage on television. All across the country, this is our game. CBC's Hockey Night in Canada, Saturday nights at 6:30 Eastern.
Welcome back to the Gaylord Entertainment Center, where the Blackhawks lead the Predators 1-0 after 2 periods. And after the game, it's Blackhawks Post. Get all the highlights and analysis of the game's action with Jim Blaney and Jack O'Callahan. Don't miss the Blackhawks Post immediately after the game on Fox Sports Net.
Hawks will take a 1-0 lead into the third period. Thomas Vokoun to our left for Nashville. Adam Monroe to our right for the Blackhawks, who have gone 5-4-1 their last 10 starts. The draw is dumped into the Chicago zone. Hawks dump it out. Don't forget a late Arneson penalty as the Predators on the power play. Still a minute and a half remaining on this man advantage for the home team. Walker checked by Nickel at center. Now it bounced loose to Tiemann, and he stepped over the line. Chipped it in deep. Dempsey hammers it around the boards. It took a funny hop and goes out of the zone. Walker was in great position to keep that in, but a bad hop eluded him. Back comes Sullivan over the line trying to center. It went through the legs of Orzog, now held in by Tiemann. Orzog on the near board, then to the corner. Sullivan walked in behind. Far side to Walker. Scott Walker takes a look for Sullivan's side of the net, trying to go upstairs, and Monroe down early, but keeping his back straight. He provided a big target and was able to make a point-blank save.
Well, Steve Sullivan loves to be in that position, but he's got to take one more step towards the front of the net. You just can't try and stuff it from the goal line. Adam Monroe just covered the post. You mentioned, Pat, in solid position, down on his knees, but not allowing any room upstairs for Sullivan to find.
Now the Preds still with a man advantage. Walker far board. Moves to the corner with it. In behind to Sullivan. He looks from behind the net. Tried to set him. Here's a drive. Oh, shot just wide. A wonderful chance. But the shot went wide from Orzog. Now here's Tiemann on the near board. Tiemann into Sullivan's side of the net. Put it out in front. Here's a drive. That went up off the glass. 2 good chances for the Preds. They haven't hit the net on either one. Tiemann into Sullivan. Walks in behind with it. Then gave it away to Aitken. He's able to clear it out of there.
I noticed Adam Monroe, he kept looking up at the clock to check the timeout.
Here's Sullivan streaking back in behind the net. The Hawk penalty over Sullivan, center to drive. I think that hit Monroe. Rebound. Came loose to the far side. Now back to the line. A long shot by Hamhuis to save. Rebound Zidlicky. What a save by Monroe. Adam Monroe with his best sequence of the game. A brilliant rebound save to keep the Hawks in front.
How good is this kid playing? Holy jumping. Adam Monroe comes up with not one but two unbelievable stops. Point blank from right in front of him. Makes the initial saves and then just slides over. And Zidlicky had a good look at it, but Adam Monroe just came out and just smothered the puck. Boy, oh boy, is he playing great.
Face off to his left. Preds get the draw. Johansson turns behind. Now leaves it back of the goal, taken by Dempsey. He's able to clear it back to center. Calder rolled it over the line. Route 2 stops. Now waits, then shoots. Put it up off the glass. And it bounced all the way back to center ice. Picked up by Greg Johnson. Cleared it into the Hog zone, but didn't stay there long. Now Dempsey for Route 2 on right wing. Bounce loose to center ice. The Predators look to move in. Back of the goal goes Ellison. He's checked. Erat took it away. And Orzog battling Ellison along the boards. Then Orzog battled toward the slot. Turn, shoots. Good save, Monroe. As Orzog made a quick spinorama type maneuver to get to his forehand. Denied.
Adam Monroe, he is just having himself a whale of a game. Bakes the save on Orzog and then jumps and lunges and snaps it out of midair before it could get onto the ground. So some great reflexes shown by Adam Monroe.
Well, the Preds try to dump one in. This, though, deflecting out of play.
Hawk fans, get your tickets to see the Blackhawks take on Martin St. Louis and the Tampa Bay Lightning at 7:30 p.m. this Wednesday night. Call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212 today.
Now the draw taken by the Predators. Eaton. Let it to center. Eaton will send one into the Chicago zone. Berard back. Fired it around the boards. This deflects all the way back into the Nashville zone. Allison will have to play it. Now the Predators. Erat turns deep in his own end. Or Hall. No, that is Erat. He left it for Eaton in behind the goal. They want to complete a change, the Predators. Now they start away. Eaton got it to center. McKenzie dumped it in. They put the bangers and crashers out, trying to stir things up here in Nashville. Here's Hall in the near corner. Adam Hall left it on the boards. Zidlicky moves in deep, had it knocked away, but it goes right to McKenzie. Then McKenzie threw it in behind the goal. Now 2-2 looking to stir. Zidlicky looking to stick handle. He's checked by Berard. Threw it in behind the Hawk net. Jordan 2-2. Unable to maintain possession of it. The Hawks clear it. Back to center ice. Not too surprised that Barry Trotz put this banger line out there for Nashville. I'm really surprised in the way the Predators have played so far tonight, Troy, and so is their general manager, David Poile. I saw him between periods. He's not very happy. Here comes Nickman over the line, shooting. Good save by Boone. Rebound Bell. His shot never got through. But the Blackhawks have really played a wonderful team game in the first two periods. And without looking at the standings, you'd have a tough time figuring out which team needs this game to get in the playoffs.
Well, there's no question about it. And you know, the one thing that maybe the Nashville Predators are going to have to go through some more growing pains. They're the favorite in this game, and they can get frustrated. As a favorite, you can get frustrated. As an underdog, you really can't get frustrated. And I think the Blackhawks have done an excellent job of just shutting down everything that the Nashville Predators have tried to do. And My apologies to Barry Trotz, the coach of the Nashville Predators. I've been calling him Brian all night long, and I know better than that. And I know Barry. I talked to him this morning, but Brian Sutter, Brian Trotz, you know, I don't know. Too much overload for my little brain. But he is a good coach, and you're absolutely right. I don't think that Barry Trotz is going to be very happy with his performance so far.
Predators now have iced one with 5.5 gone by in the third period. The Predators, after tonight, they have 17 games left, and 11 of those games are going to be on the road, where they're 5 games below 500. And also in their last 17 games, 10 of those games will be against teams that have records of better than 500. So it will not be an easy climb to the postseason for the Predators. They started play tonight in by 5 points. They have 5 points more than the 9th place team in the West. So it's been a great run so far for the Preds, but they're far from out of the woods.
The team that is sitting on the outside is the St. Louis Blues right now, and they have 10 home games and 8 away, so the schedule is in their favor. And you just mentioned the fact that I think out of all the teams competing for those last few spots in the Western Conference, Nashville probably has one of the toughest schedules.
Here's Arneson walking on front, shooting. Good stand-up save by Vokoun. Arneson was hoping he's going to go down. It didn't happen, as Arnie tried to go upstairs with a roof shot, and standing tall was Vokoun to stop it. The puck is cleared into the Nashville zone. This will be icing against Chicago. 13.5 remaining in the third. 1-0 Hawks. This Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
That restaurant I'm taking you to, whoa, fancy.
Oh, yeah?
But I always say, if it don't fit between 2 pieces of bread, it ain't fit to eat. And I'm not just a driver. I delivered a baby 2 days ago right where you're sitting. So you're probably meeting some fancy lawyer boyfriend who sniffs a cork before he sends back his beer for having the wrong kind of bubbles. Hey, get a load of this guy. Wouldn't be caught dead in that. Wait, I missed a turnoff. But I can circle around, don't worry. I know the city like the back of the car in front of me.
1 Advil. For today's tough pain, 1 is often enough. Also in extra strength.
Good talking to you.
Looking for something a little more your speed? Try NHL Street. It's fast, it's fun, and you don't have to be one of the best. You just come to play. NHL Street. Give it a shot or learn more. Log on to NHL.com.
Face-off coming up to the right of Adam Monroe in the Chicago zone. 1-0 in favor of the Hawks as the face-off goes right to his net, or toward his net. Didn't get there because his glove snared it. And he'll look at another draw to his right as Arkhipov and Allison will go for the draw. Arkhipov jammed it back to the line. Zidlitsky rolled it up the boards. Berard to the corner against Orzog. Then Nickel came to take it away. Or Ellison rather chipped it back into the Nashville zone. Now Timonen. Bounce one up the middle. Taken by Quentin Lang. He finds Matt Keith on right wing. Steps to the line. Long slap shot deflects wide. Picked up by Ellison to the corner. Allison trying to stick handle through traffic, not this time, but he still hung on to it. Put it to the line. Berard, a long shot deflected up off the glass. And Erat able to send it to center ice. Berard scooped it back into the Predator end. Now it's cleared to center. Orzog rolled it over to the Hawk line, picked up there by Nathan Dempsey. His pass deflecting at center. And finally, it's controlled by Vandermeer. Shot it to the Nashville blue line. The Preds' Hamhuis fires it back the other way. This is going to be icing against Nashville. And the Predators have had a good sequence or two here in this third period, Troy, but they've been few and far between. And the Chicago Blackhawks, as a group, what an impressive show in the first 48 minutes of the game.
Oh, I totally agree with you. I think that, Barry Trotz is putting out his fourth line crashers and bangers, just trying to get something stirred up here, trying to get some energy on that bench. And I give the credit to the Blackhawks. They've just done an excellent job of smothering any kind of offensive production that the Nashville Predators have been trying to do, but they just can't seem to penetrate. And when they do, Adam Monroe has been stellar between the pipes.
Now here's Mark Bell deep in his own end. Here's around the boards. Hutchinson tried to get it toward the net, never did. Deflecting to center. Now the Predators. Sullivan was hooked. It went down so easily they said play on. Back of the goal it goes. And Vandermeer battling with Walker, who centers a shot. Point blank save by Monroe. He's able to hang on.
That's one of those calls that Steve Sullivan was trying to draw a penalty through the neutral zone. And you could almost call him for diving without even going down. Unsportsmanlike conduct. You can't do that. Steve Sullivan is excellent at drawing penalties. He didn't get away with that one this time, but the same motion. You just can't let those kind of things happen in the National Hockey League. They want to try and get those players to understand that if you're going to go down that easy, then you're going to end up in the penalty box.
Arneson beaten on a draw cleanly. Monroe able to make a good save on Mark Eaton's long shot. That'll be all for Arneson, and Nickel comes back out to go for this draw against Johnson. Johnson kicks it loose, but the good recovery by Calder to jam it free. Here's a lead from Rutu, deflected away from Calder all the way to the net where Vokoun gloves and holds.
Scotty Nickel, as soon as that play kind of developed and went down the ice, he switched with Tyler Arneson. Brian Sutter just electing to pull off Arneson from the face-off duties in his defensive zone. Get Scotty Nickel out there, who has been the best face-off guy all season long for the Blackhawks.
Nashville's Stevenson rolled it to center. Johnson dumped it in. Now on the near side, the Hawks. Arneson able to win a board battle and cleared it to center. Calder flipped it in there. Aimed to the near board, and Kyle Calder let it forced back to center. Now picked up there by Stevenson. His long shot is blocked. Back of the Hawk goal, Johansson battles with Quint. Then Johnson dug it out of there. Greg Johnson unable to make a play. Now it came free and behind the goal. Oh, and a stick comes up from Berard and clipped Orzog. And Berard's going to get a penalty as the Hawks control. The whistle sounds, and the Predators back to the man advantage.
Now this is one of the opportunities that the Predators need to try and capitalize on. They're going to be on the power play. I think it's only going to be a 2-minute high stick on Brian Berard as his stick inadvertently came up and clipped Orzog, but at the same time, this is one of those challenges that Barry Trotz as a coach is saying, hey guys, this is our chance. We may not get another power play. This is when you got to make it happen. And on the Blackhawks side of it, this is the time to say, you know what, we got to kill this one, because if we do, this could be the game.
Nickel won another draw. Dempsey's clearing attempt, though, held in. And finally, it's hacked back into the neutral zone. So the Predators, who are nothing out of 5 on the power play tonight, now get their 6th opportunity. Here's Walker in the deep slot. Near side of Tiemann, and he centered. That deflects over the glass. Out of play.
Boy, it really seems that they're trying to set up that one-time across ice pass, and let her go, but Adam Monroe has been reading that play all night long. I don't think that the Nashville Predators have tried to switch up what they've been trying to get accomplished on the power play. It hasn't worked for the most part of the game, and when it has, Adam Monroe has read the play perfectly and been able to make the save.
Sullivan wins a draw to Tiemann and fires. That one went wide. Picked up now by Walker on the far side. Scott Walker. It's the Predators set up there in a 1-3-1. Here's a centering pass knocked away from Tiemann. Nice reach by Bell to break up the feed, but the Preds keep it in. On the near board, Orzog. Vladimir Orzog put it in behind the net. Sullivan looks for some help out in front. Now walks there himself. Put it to the line. Zidlitsky back to Sullivan, top of the ring. He centered Orzog. Fluttered the shot. Oh, they score! Orzog tried to snap a wrist shot and nearly completely whiffed on it. It drifted toward the net. I believe it was tipped in. The Preds on the power play tie the game.
Well, it's the opportunity that the Predators were looking for, and you just mentioned they capitalize on it. But it's an off-speed knuckler that came into Adam Monroe from Orzog, and it wasn't deflected in front, I don't believe, but Adam Monroe was off balance because the shot was coming in so slow. Phil Niekro would be proud of that one. Well, Adam Monroe has had an excellent game, a shutout to this point. Allows a power play goal, but boy, just some great effort by the penalty killers and just a kind of a tough break. Orzog, as you mentioned, not getting all of his one-timer, and Adam Monroe just caught a little bit off balance, not being able to recover and take care of that knuckler.
We'll see who gets credit. It may have been Scott Walker who was battling hard for position out in front of the net. He may have actually tipped it on its way, but now here's a centering pass, and the Hawks will picked off. And cleared to center by Aitken. Bouncing back into the Hawk zone. Here's Stevenson battling toward the net and a stick tied up. And Walker is going to get the goal. Here's a steal by Johansson. Long shot deflected over top of the net. And then a whistle on the play. And, the play was offside, I believe, as Danny McCourt stops the action. 8.5 left in the third. 1-1. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
Where do you go from tough? 56 years a tough truck. How much horsepower is enough? How many pound-feet of torque is necessary? What is the ultimate payload? It's time to rethink the problem. It's time to rethink the truck.
See Canadian athletes take on the world's best. CBC Sports Saturday.
Back in Nashville, the Predators able to come through with a power play for the first time in 6 chances, and Scott Walker able to tie the game with a deflection for his 20th goal of the season. And here's the draw now. Wrestled back to center ice. Picked up there by Bell. Over the line, Mark Bell tried to move in, tied up the Nicholas, a shot. Oh, and he had it deflect over top of the goal. Comes to the near side, Bell. Rolling it along the boards. Nicholas had it taken away by Legwine. And now the Preds Walker. That is pass deflects. Sullivan no carry down, stepped over the line, fires. That's blocked. And cleared back to center ice. Timonen will shoot one in there. Taken by Dempsey. Clearing to Lang. Quentin Lang, one of 7 rookies in the Blackhawks lineup tonight. They have used 17 rookies all season long. There are 7 battling the Predators in this game.
The 3 young kids on this shift have a total of 13 games total between them, so not a lot of NHL experience, but a lot of young legs and energy out there.
Now Aitken for Ellison. He had it knocked away. The Predators back into the Hawk zone. Erat near side. Works his way around Moen. Cleared it to the corner. Arkhipov. That is pocket picked by Berard. He put it off the glass and out. 7 minutes remaining in the third. We are tied at 1. Arneson scored in the first period for the Hawks on a power play. Walker scored for the Predators here in the third on a power play. Moen checked along the boards. And only the Predators. Hutchinson picked it up. Andrew Hutchinson, who was born in Evanston. Cleared it into the Blackhawks zone. And it's shot right back to the Predator end. Then cleared into the Hawk zone. Chased down by Johnson. Greg Johnson stops on the near side. Then centered. Here's a shot. That never got through. Deflected out to the deep side. Eaton a drive. Monroe the save. Rebound. Taken by Arneson. Tyler Arneson's long backhand pass finds Calder. A 2-line pass. The whistle sounds. 6 minutes remaining in the third. 1-1. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
You are watching NHL Center Ice on Bell Express View.
The beauty of the suit is that the bottoms match the top. So all you have to do is throw on a shirt and tie and you're out the door. You get to work earlier, your productivity goes up, you get a bigger bonus, put the kids in better schools, they get better jobs, make tons of money, buy you a home to retire to on an island. No wonder suits are coming back. Suits starting at just $150. Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moores.
One man will stop at nothing.
When you know it, they're closed.
To bring you stories from all corners of the country.
Holy Lord! Hello, I'm your Liberal candidate. How are you?
Rick Mercer's Monday Report, 8 o'clock on CBC.
15-minute phone call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Toyota. Get the feeling.
Blackhawk fans, don't miss the St. Patrick's Day game on Wednesday, March 17th. The first 10,000 fans 21 years and older to enter the United Center receive a Blackhawk retro-style green hat courtesy of Miller Lite.
Now it's dumped into the Hawk zone. Stevenson's behind the net against Berard. Jeremy Stevenson rolled it along the end boards. Johansson battles toward the slot. Couldn't get rid of a shot, though, and out comes Ruutu. For Arneson to the line. His pass deflecting. Arneson got to it in the near corner. Shoots one. Bokun stopped it. Rebound to the Preds. And they clear it back the other way. This will go far enough for an icing call.
Fans don't like that call, but Brian Berard couldn't handle along the boards, and it's the right call by Danny McCord, as we talked to him earlier. And he took part in a couple experimental games down in the American Hockey League where they widened the blue lines to see if that would create some more space through the neutral zone and speed up the game and get some more offense in it. Good guy, been around for a lot of years.
And he worked with Ray Scampanello in those games, and when they were talking about it after in the officials room, people were saying, what'd you think? And the consensus was they should have saved the paint. Here's some pushing and shoving now as Nickel was jostling with a board battle, and now looks like we're gonna have a penalty or two coming up here.
And coincidental minors. So the teams will remain at equal strength, but Scotty Nickel, Mark Bell battling down in the corner, working hard. Hamuse, Scotty Nickel getting maybe a little bit too aggressive for the likes of the referees, and they'll sit for a couple minutes. So we'll play a little 4-on-4 hockey.
And a draw to the left of Vokoun, which Nicholas won so cleanly it escaped all the way to the Hawk end. Eric Nicholas almost lost it to Sullivan, but Bell then got it back. Mark Bell got a bouncing puck at center. Finally the Predators able to steal. Hutchinson rolled it over the line. Sullivan top of the near circle. His long pass deflected side of the net. Here's Walker, a stop side of the save. Rebound. Another save by Monroe. He beat Walker, then Eaton with 2 point-blank saves. And Vandermeer had his pocket picked by Walker, then went sprawling to the deck, and the fans furious with no whistle there. Now here's a near steal by the Predators. Johnson almost picked Dempsey's pocket, but the Hawks maintain control. We have a minute left in the coincidental minors. Berard deep in his own end, missed Calder with a pass. Hawks having a terrible time in this 4-against-4. The Predators steal. Johnson centered, deflected away from Johansson. Now Tiemann got it back for Johnson. It's broken up. A diving play by Calder broke up the pass. Now in the slot area, Arneson lost it to Zidlitzky. He works to the far side. Zidlitzky battles it in behind the net. Picked up by Johnson. Greg Johnson back to Zidlitzky to the far dot. Around Aiken, cuts in, a shot, they score! Play by Zidlitzky, and Tiemann with a one-timer finished it. A disaster of a 4-on-4 for the Hawks, and the Predators take the lead.
Good call on that, Pat. Blackhawks couldn't even get out of their zone, and they had control of the puck several times, but just running around, scrambling. Kyle Calder saved 1 goal, but the Blackhawks, 4-on-4 in your own zone, simply pick up your own man and stick with them. Blackhawks just caught running around all over the place, and Tiemann walked in on the far side, a cross-ice pass, and he made no mistake of it, scored his 10th goal of the season. That's a huge goal for the Nashville Predators. They need to win this game, and right now they have the lead.
And the draw now cleared into the Hawk zone. Here's Ruutu. Back to center. Gets the line. The coincidentals are over, and both teams now are at full strength. 2.5 left in the third. 2-1 now in favor of the Predators. Barron Quint from his own end. Put around the boards, Vandermeer. He chipped it back to center. Mark Eaton cleared it to the Hawk zone. Zidlitzky, who made a brilliant pass, and Greg Johnson get the assist on Tiemann's 10th at 16:53. Here's a stuff shot and a save by Monroe, who was hugging the far post. The puck cleared back to center. The Preds now step back in. And a pass broken up by Quint. And now out comes Berard. racing up the right side. Rolled it over the line. Lang back to Berardi. Shoots one. And a save by Vokoun. Rebound. They score! Vokoun thought he had it. He didn't. And Matt Keith has just scored his first National Hockey League goal. And it ties the game late in the third. The 20-year-old Keith makes it 2-2.
Oh boy, how excited is Matt Keith going to be? His first career goal. Brian Sutter sending out the kids with less than 2 minutes to go, and they respond with a huge goal. Vokoun made the initial save on Brian Berard's cross ice kind of shot, and Matt Keith wouldn't be denied. He just stood right in the crease and just hacking and whacking, and on his third attempt got it to go. And boy, oh boy, his celebration shows how excited he is, and that's a great goal for a good kid.
Oh boy, that time a picture is worth 1,000 words.
You bet it is.
And now we have 90 seconds left in the third. 2-2 as the Preds Johansson comes out of his own end. Could only get as far as center. Vandermeer. And it knocked away. The Preds dump it in. So on the first NHL goal for Matt Keith, Brian Berard gets an assist. And Quentin Lang gets his first NHL point. So two kids figure in a large goal for the Blackhawks. And we go to the final minute now of the third. Walker on right wing at center. Cranks a dump in. And the Hawks quickly move it back to center ice. Calder rolled that. Here's Berard up on the play. Leading the rush. He's in. He shoots. How to save by Vokoun. What a blast up the ice by Brian Berard. Nobody could stay with him. And Vokoun made a huge save. Now Legwand for the Preds. Chipped it ahead. Aimed back to him on the boards. Legwand finding Zidlichky near point. His long shot. And a save by Monroe. Rebound. Controlled by the Preds. A shot hit the side of the net. The light went on and hit the outside of the goal. Sullivan's in behind. Sullivan tried to slip it in front. It hit a skate to Arneson. Looking to clear. And then Calder did. And some traffic along the boards. Otherwise, the Hawks might have had an odd man rush. And that will finish the third period. So after one goal in the first 50 minutes of the game, 3 are scored in the last 10 minutes, and we will go to extra time.
And Brian Berard almost had the game winner on his stick. You mentioned the speed of Brian Berard through the neutral zone. Just blew past all the Predators, went in and tried to beat Vokoun on a backhand move, but Vokoun read it properly, put the paddle down on the ice. And what an exciting finish to this game. And Matt Keith is going to be sitting on that bench. And you mentioned Quentin Lang remembering everything about his first game. Well, he got his first point in his second game. Matt Keith now has a goal and assist to go with his 4 games in the National Hockey League. And I'll tell you what, those young kids did an excellent job. Look at it.
Oh, it's a great thing to see. And the Blackhawks able to grab the lead in the first period. Tuomo Ruutu, speaking of rookies, won a draw. Arneson able to finish it off, and it stayed 1-0 until midway through the third. The Predators got a power play, and a floating shot by Orzog was tipped by Walker and went in. That tied it at 1, and then a great passing play. Zidlichky to Timonen, allowing the Predators to move in front. But with under 2 minutes left, a 20-year-old kid with a moment he'll never forget, grinding and battling out in front of the goal, and Matt Keith scores the tire. And I think he was happier then than if he had just won the lottery.
I didn't even see it. Did somebody get the puck? I didn't see anybody go back and get the puck.
Oh, I'm sure somebody brought it to the bench. The officials probably did. All right, we go to extra time now, and the Predators badly in need of a point. Each team puts one in the bank. Now one more available with 4 skaters aside as the puck roll loose into the Hawks zone. Sullivan steals. Tries to move up the middle. Dropped it back. Zidlichky had his pocket picked by Nickel. And now the Hawks start away. Might have a 3-on-2. Here's Nicholas on left wing over the line. Weaves to the slot. Shooting. Never got through. Picked off by Timonen. He motors back to center. Timonen to the Hawk line. Works his way to the near corner. Put it in behind Walker. He couldn't pick it up. Scott Nickel did. And he'll get a shot on goal from his own blue line. The Hawks want to change. Quickly back comes Zidlitzky. He flipped it in. The Preds make a change of their own. Ryan Berard sending Tuomo Ruutu out to center ice. Gets the line, left it for Bell. Moves toward the net to the backhand. He shoots. And a save. Rebound. Oh, and Bell couldn't lift it over Vokoun. In behind the goal, the Preds get Mark Eaton getting control of it. He's able to clear it to center. Now over the line, Johnson offside as Berard forced Johnson at the Hawk blue line.
Oh, some good action in the Predator zone. Mark Bell putting the leg down and taking a drop pass from Tuomo Ruutu. Then driving to the net. Vokoun holding his ground but couldn't cover the rebound. And you mentioned the fact that if Mark Bell could have lifted that puck up over a sprawling Vokoun, he would have had the winner.
Now the Preds get the draw. Hamuse over the line, rolled it in deep. Legwan back of the goal. To Adam Hall. Hall to Legwan to the near side. Now a long flip shot went wide. And Arneson retrieved. Able to scoop it to center. The Preds send it back in. This will be chased down. Monroe coming out of the net. Just able to beat Legwan to a loose puck. And now Dempsey able to get control of it. Gave it to Berard. He's out of gas. He needs a change. The Hawks now get some fresh legs on there. And Nathan Dempsey. Let his pass deflect to the neutral zone. Now here's Matt Keith stealing one out of midair. Sending Allison over the line. He fires. Got it up off the glass. Rebounds Zidlitzky. 2.5 left now in the game. The puck's cleared to center. Vandermeer put it back in over the line. Here's Allison cutting in for Keith. Oh, it's just out of his reach as he was open on top of the crease. On the far side, Quinn holds it in, shoots one. And a pad save by Vokoun. Now the Predators start back. But Arkhipov couldn't maintain control of it. And Sullivan has it at center. And into some traffic there. The Hawks now feed Berard up the left side, racing in on team, and it spins along the board. And then his pass picked off by Sullivan, and out comes Walker. On right wing over the line, Walker cutting in, shooting. Little save by Monroe, rebound. And Sullivan couldn't maintain control of it. Sullivan now to the deep slot, walks up the middle. Spins to his forehand and shoots one. Monroe with the glove. It hopped loose, big scramble. Monroe able to cover to the top of the crease.
Oh, cool. All kinds of action going on here. Matt Keith had an opportunity at the Predator end. Steve Sullivan comes back with a couple nice spinorama moves. It opens up a good scoring opportunity, and Scott Walker driving right to the front of the net. I think he took it up in the chest and didn't even get to Monroe, and the puck lied underneath him. And there it laid until Monroe jumped on top of Walker.
Now the draw in the Hawk zone. Johansson will spin all the way back to center. Now he cleared it for Hamuse over the line. His long shot fluttered up off the glass. 1.5 minutes left now. In behind the Hawk goal, Tuomo Ruutu. Looking for Vandermeer. Able to chip it loose, and Dempsey triggers a long feed that sailed away from Bell. This is going to be an icing call against Chicago.
We were in this situation yesterday afternoon, Pat, and I questioned the fact whether the Florida Panthers should have pulled their goaltender. And to clarify what would happen, if the Nashville Predators pull their goaltender right now and the Blackhawks score, the Nashville Predators would lose the point that they already have. So there's no way that they're going to throw away the 1 point, even though they could use the extra point. They have to take the first point. And Steve Ludzik, we talked to him after the game, and he said that they were actually even talking about that, whether they wanted to do it.
Now the Predators look to move in. The rush broken up to Calder. He left it for Quint. Now Arneson. Arneson carries it in over the line. Dropped it back. Berard, his long shot. Tip. Deflected wide. Chased down by Legwan. David Legwand, to center, flip that head. Zidlinsky's open, cutting to the net, bouncing puck centered. And that deflected just out of the reach of Legwand. Legwand now through some traffic right to the slot on his backhand. Cuts behind the net. Legwand hanging on, walk back in front, shoots, hit a leg. And the Hawks Berard comes out, and a penalty going to be called against the Preds. Here's Calder moving over the line. Got it to Arneson. Gave it back to Calder. He spins toward the deep slot, and his pass stolen. And the horn, or the whistle, will sound with just 7 seconds remaining.
David Legwand just cross-checked Nathan Dempsey right in front of Adam Monroe. And the referee took a second before he made the call, but lots of action in front of Adam Monroe. And in the battle, David Legwand tried to get the puck to the front of the net, and he just took his stick and cross-checked Nathan Dempsey right in the mouth. Wow. So with only 7 seconds left, Pat, they're going to have to work something right off the draw in an awful hurry if they're going to try and get a goal here.
And timeout has been taken, so both teams gathered around their respective benches. The draw will be off to the left of Thomas Vokoun.
My guess is Ruutu, who's been solid on the draws tonight, will take the draw. Somebody on the boards as a left-handed shot is going to walk around, and everybody else is going to crash the front of the net. But if they can win it clean, they might get a good scoring opportunity. It's Vandermeer. Mark Bell is going to take it. Vandermeer's on the boards.
Now they get ready to the left of Vokoun. Predators win the draw, and that's going to finish this one. Well, the puck is knocked down with a high stick, so still one more face-off. 3.5 ticks left. That's enough time if you win it cleanly. Bell will go against Johnson for the draw. And Berard right behind Bell, hoping for a chance.
This has got to be bang-bang.
Now they're ready. Johnson won another draw, and now it does finish the game. And then Vandermeer went after a Predator player in the corner. They didn't like that. Here's Vokoun into the mess with a big gathering deep in the Predator end.
Vandermeer was working over somebody in the corner.
Now Vokoun and Bell in a wrestling match, and Bell has gotten Vokoun's headgear off. And now here comes Monroe. He's going to join the party. If one goalie's stepping in, so is the other. Oh, and the referee gets in Monroe's way and said, son, you don't want to do that. There's Danny McCourt and Mike Cormier have done a pretty good job so far trying to keep these players separated.
Walker just took a jab at Vandermeer and hit him. That was Vandermeer who was working over Walker in the corner initially, and all of a sudden everything broke loose. Vokoun jumping into the mix. Adam Monroe coming down to check things out. I wonder what the referee would be telling him if he gets involved in it. Is he gone or what? I mean, I don't know.
I think he was just trying to prevent, we've seen officials before when two players looked like they were going to go step between, and I think you're just trying to keep more fuel from getting poured onto the fire, because at that point it had started to settle down. Now Vokoun and Bell had pretty much been separated, so he's just thinking about Monroe jumping in on Vokoun. Now he's got a whole other set of problems.
Yeah, it was Vandermeer that ended up cross-checking Mark Eaton while he was down on the ice, and that drew the ire of Scotty Walker, who's a tough competitor himself. 1 year racked up over 330 minutes in Syracuse in the minor leagues, but a pretty solid effort by the Blackhawks, and Adam Monroe has got to be happy with his debut.